Hey guys, welcome back to Illustrating Failure. If you are new here, my name is Janie and I'm just a new art school grad trying to survive the world of freelancing without, too much prior experience, and also just trying to survive life in general. If you want a little bit more introduction about me, you can check out my first video where I introduce myself and the purpose of this channel, and I'm gonna put a link right up here so you can check it out after this video if you like. And so today we are back with Mondays, which is a rough start of the week every single week, but we are gonna start it with a little bit of self-love on the Mondays. For last week's episode, I went through loving your body, but for this week we're really gonna be loving our money makers, which are these babies. And we use these babies for literally everything we do, whether you are an artist and you're just drawing all day, or writing proposals, or writing email promotions. We just use our hands so much. And even when we're not using our hands for work stuff, we're on our phone, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on, I know I was saying Facebook aged me a little bit, but we're on TikTok, we're looking at memes. Just, even when we're shopping, we're doing it on our phones if we're doing a lot of shopping, and our wrists just don't get a break from any of the work we do. And then a lot of the times when we're just doing stuff, we don't really think about the ergonomics or our posture of it until we start building up with a lot of wrist pain, and we're oh no, and then you try to power through it and then it just gets worse, and you're no, I'm strong, I'll just keep going, and then you kind of pretty much screw yourself over because you've gone too far in trying to avoid the problem the whole time. And as someone who's been managing their tendonitis for years now, both working and as an artist and as a student, I've looked up a lot of stretches and things you can do to alleviate some of the pain. And when I'm talking about all of this, just as I said in my intro, I'm not trying to maximize or be at the full potential for my working, which ideally I should be at, but it's more about surviving and just staying in the game as you do art and as you're doing desk work, because working with pain is the worst. Now I'm speaking mostly as an artist and for all my artist friends out there, but if you work at a desk a lot, I think this is also very much applicable. And also I have a really important note about wrist braces near the end, so stay tuned to hear that. And so come with me as I show you some of the things I do to stay pain-free at my desk. Okay, so I've gone the furthest back I can go. Remember, I work in a closet, so space is a little bit limited. And so when I've been working for a while, usually you should be doing this every hour or so, but sometimes you're in the mood and you forget, but that's okay. When you're feeling the tenderness, it helps to sometimes just extend your fingers. So you can do it like this at 90 degrees, or you can extend it, and then I'll just do this for maybe 20-30 seconds, and you can really feel when you've been sore, you can really feel your muscles extending. This is such a simple exercise, but it helps to stretch it out. I really feel it, the stiffness around here, because my tendonitis is worse in my right dominant hand than my left. And then afterwards I flip it around and I just stretch that for about 20-30 seconds. And you can do that back and forth, just whatever feels good for a couple of times. Oh yeah. This is the morning time and I just woke up, but I can still feel the soreness from yesterday. And yesterday I didn't even do much because it was Sunday, my rest day. But it all kind of accumulates. And then after that, it's my single wrist stretch. And like I just put my thumb in like the middle of my hand here. And then I just kind of like give that like a nice push. Like I'm not like destroying, like punishing my hand. I'm just giving it a nice, you know, stretch back. And I hold this for like 30 seconds before like I switch to my other arm. And these are like all things you can do at your desk. And then I switch to this side, and I'm doing the same thing. So the thumb is like right in here. And I'm giving that a stretch. Obviously I'm doing this in the side just to show you guys on the camera, but usually it's straightforward like this. And I'm just pulling that back. And you can see like my arm is perpendicular to my body. I just hold that for 30 seconds, and I'll usually like do this like 2 or 3 times, but like sometimes I do like all my stretches like one after another first, and then like, you know, it's kind of like exercising where you do sets. So I do like all the exercises first, and then afterwards like I do it again just to like keep things fresh. And then I do these ones where you just hold your wrist back like this for 30 seconds. And I just hold it, and you can just really feel the stretch here. And for wrist pain, you think that all the pain is like at your wrist because that's where you're doing everything. But actually with tendonitis and carpal tunnel, it's like it goes like up your arm, and it's actually in this area where all the tension is accumulating. And so if you are like, sometimes like, you know, between stretches I'm massaging my arm, and if you are massaging, like just massage up here, and then your wrist will feel better. It's weird because you think it's here, and like it does help a bit, but then to like actually alleviate some of the tension, it like you want to be massaging up here, and then like work your way down. Sometimes like I was watching this YouTube for these stretches, like when it's like really bad, I'll even like use you should be careful with this one, but I would use like my other elbow to like, I put this on like a surface, like on a flat surface, and I just like push it down to like alleviate some of that like muscle tension, and just to reset my muscles. I just, you know, go and I just push it out, and that really helps. Well, that was a tangent. So anyways, after this, you go to the other side, and then you do the same thing. And then sometimes, you know, your arm will go like this, which is fine, but then to get the maximum stretch, try to like push everything upwards, and so you are like stretching that area of your arm. And even though for like us, like right arm dominant people, we want to just stretch one arm, but the other one can also have things happen too, so I would definitely stretch both. And sometimes I'd give like my thumb a little bit of a stretch, give each finger a little bit of a stretch, just to show it some love. We're showing our body love just so it can work for us. And then shake it out, you know, whatever that feels good. I don't know why, but shaking just feels good. I think it's just like to regain that blood flow and just to like relax everything. Let's shake that whole body. Yeah. And so for the next one, you can either do this just like at your desk, or you can like find a wall, and that'll really help as well. But you just want to like put your arms out like this, and like pretend that you're pushing on a wall. And I'll try to keep my shoulders back like this, and I'm just stretching like this whole area. It's kind of like what we were doing like this before. I think this one, it stretches like our wrist more, but then this is like you're putting your body into the stretch, so it's like a different stretch than that one. And I'd hold this for like 30 seconds and then the other side downwards, and I just pretend to push. Can you guys see? Yeah, no, you can't. Push for 30 seconds as well. Remember, walls are good for this one too. And sometimes I do like this kind of stretch too, just like in between as well for a little bit of a stretch for my wrists. Ooh, I can really feel it. And you can do it like downwards with your fist too. And you know, it's like, I kind of go through like variations, follow them, whichever one I feel at the time works the best for me. And so it is like, you know, mostly just taking that time to give your body a little bit of a break so that you can keep going, keep pushing, bro. Just shake it out. And then this one, I really like this one because it feels so good when you stretch. So you just like hold your arm out like this, and then you look away. And it looks really simple. You know, you just have your arm out and you look away, but like when you do it, like you can really feel that stretch. So I just go all the way down and up, and you just feel it like along like your whole body. And the other variation is like, you know, you have your hand out like this, yeah, and that like stretches too. Oh yeah. And then if you're feeling adventurous, you just like put your hand up a little bit higher, and that that really stretches those tendons out. Like you just really feel it in this area. And then you can even like gently put your hand on your head and just give it a little bit of a pull and hold that for 30. And then you want to switch to the other side like that, or like that. Yeah, whichever one, just, you know, whichever one feels best, just hold it up for 30 seconds. Oh yeah, this is a good one. This is a good one. And our wrists are also really connected to like the rest of our body. It seems obvious, but like sometimes we forget. It's like, okay, we have like pain in our wrists, but then it's actually connected to like our posture and like the rest of our body as well. And so like it's important to also stretch like your upper back as well as like when you're doing like wrist stuff. And so sometimes like I do one of these. I don't know if you heard that crack. And just like put your arms together and like really try to stretch that out. And if you can't like pull it that high, that's fine too. Just like a little bit is like really helpful. Yeah, and like hold that for like 30 seconds. And then some of these to like help stretch this whole area. This is also like when you're working at a desk or you're leaning over a lot all day, like your upper back can really take a hit. And so some of these are good. Sometimes I'm just stretching my hand out in between as well. And then the other side. Yeah, ow! Be careful of your chair. And then you just want to loosen that up a bit. And then this is like a yoga move that I got from like Yoga with Adrienne. But this actually helps me like stretch, like give the back a good stretch too. And it's just, you know, I'm putting my hands together and then like keeping that straight for a solid 30. And I'm really stretching my like shoulder, and I'm really stretching my shoulder blades. I can't really see, but. And then the other side. Oh yeah. I really feel in my shoulders with this one. And then some of these, giving a good old twist. I think this like helps your upper back, your spine, and also even your lower back. And this one's like really easy. You're just trying your best to like twist around. And if you can't make it all the way, like that's fine too. You just gotta hold that for 30. And now a really important note about wrist braces. And so I have this wrist brace here. It's really good because like it has a piece of metal in between on the bottom. And so that like really helps give my wrist the support it needs with these like adjustable bands as well. Some of the wrist braces where it's just floppy, I don't really know what's the point of them. Like sure, there's more mobility I guess, but it doesn't actually provide you any support. So I wouldn't even bother with those. It might be cheaper, but you know, what's the point in even spending the money if it's not going to help you? And honestly, this was like maybe 20-30 bucks as well, so it's not like a big investment. And for the wrist braces, it's really important to note that as tempting as it might be to not use these while you're actually working, when you use these for like drawing and working, you're actually like weakening the muscles in your wrist, because this is intended to keep your wrist in place, but then when you're working with it, it's putting strain on different muscles, and so like it can actually like make your like wrist pains worse. And so the best way is to like use this like during your breaks, and when like, you know, sometimes I wear this when I'm sleeping and stuff. I try not to like keep it where when I'm sleeping like too many days in a row, because it can also like make your like wrist feel a little bit stiff. But definitely when you're working, it's the best to do like wrist stretches to like strengthen your wrist, rather than like trying to put like a band-aid solution, because even though this might look like it feels better, in the long run it's actually doing more damage. And I'm saying this from like all the research that I have done in terms of like wrist pain and stuff. And so in terms of like strengthening your wrists, I have like one of these where it's just, you know, you press it and then it's to increase your grip strength. And then adding strength to your muscles helps to alleviate some of the symptoms as well. And then you want to do it for both sides. And you know, I just showed you a bunch of like stretches and stuff that you can do at your desk, but this also works like really well if you do it in conjunction with like some yoga if you can, and like some different exercises as well. And they just like all at the end of the day work together. And so yeah, I hope that this was helpful for you, whether you are an artist trying to find ways to like alleviate some of the wrist pain while you're working, or you know, you just work at a desk all the time. If you like this video, please remember to leave me a thumbs up. And you know, if you have any other questions, comments, just let me know below in the comments section. And I've also included a few links that like I tend to go to for more in-depth talks and like ways to alleviate wrist and arm pain, both like from physiotherapists and like some yoga videos. Some are longer, some are shorter, to like, you know, for you to do in between your workday to like, you know, keep your body working so that it can help work for you. And so thank you so much for listening, guys. I will see you guys next time on Illustrating Failure. Bye!